Hello there, post-production Sylvie here again, and apparently throughout this whole video I barely say a word, so I figure I'm gonna record a voiceover. You'll notice a bit of a change in the editing style today. It's inspired by a YouTuber I follow, Raocow. So, Torchman is supposed to be a fire safety instructor, and you know, that's a very interesting design to make him a sentient robotic torch. But, you know, he knows Kung Fu, so he is able to calm his energies. That's a weird kind of swerve on, you know, the fire boss. Speaking of weird swerves, though, we have these little TP enemies. They're not quite enemies, they don't attack you, they're just... but they are immobile, and if you touch them, they will hurt you. So as you can see, this level's kind of got, like, a little bit of a North American wilderness vibe to it, but with, like, fire. You have, like, those... and then it's like a little cooking pot, like a mole robot in a cooking pot. And you just got a fire variant of that enemy from this game. Yeah, you have a lot of these TPs blocking your way, though. You got these burners. I forget what they're called. A little owl that dispenses flame, and little spider tick things. You know, this stage seems to be themed. It's not quite as bad as Tomahawk Man from Mega Man 6, but still a very questionable choice, and you'll see what I mean when we come up to the mini boss here. I can't let this stage go by without pointing that out. That, you know, including, like, these, like, wilderness-themed enemies. We have some, like, indigenous stereotypings going on. Yeah, we're coming to the mini-boss here, and yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This bird is named Sparky. And as you can see in the background, they've got a bonfire. They got me tools around a bonfire, which is cute, but then they've also got a bunch of TPs surrounding the bonfire, you know, while we're fighting this flaming turkey enemy. I can't help but think that was, like, an intentional reference, and I gotta say, like, fuck that shit. Like, colonialism ain't like your fanciful set dressing for your video games. Like, you can make a game about colonialism, that's fine, but if, like, you just use it, like, you know, like, use indigenous imagery, and then, like, also, like, a reminder of, like, Thanksgiving alongside of it is a really it's a really tasteless, I think it's a really tasteless design choice. And, like, there's so much creativity in this game that, like, they didn't need to do that. They didn't need to resort to that, but racism is alive and strong. Anyway, that was a quick little game over. I shouldn't have grabbed that life in the stage. Should have saved that for a fresh continue, but alas.
The reactor's running unusually well today.
Okay, are you sure? Ta-da! All ready!
Yeah, this stage winds up being quite a bit more annoying than I had anticipated. Oh yeah, and E-Tank never showed up in there, so I just decided to grab whatever. Who knows, maybe I didn't wait long enough. But yeah, I think like in the video you can see that I'm just playing it, and since I don't talk at all, I think that's an indication of my mood from when I was there. And I'm just like falling into pits, getting picked up by beats. It's a mess. I think I'm just like sad that my friend left or something. That would make sense considering the context of this video. And so now I'm just trying to beat the stage that I already started. There's a lot of like bolts on the ground if you choose to go down there. I think at some point I realized that that's a good farming spot. And we skip to the firewall again. I think I tried to get those things, and then I just get trapped between the hitbox and the wall of flames. Oh yeah, and there's totems in the foreground, I just noticed. Oh yeah, I'm still not getting much luck with those random drops. I just realized I can just shoot him off into the well. And I also realized I can use the speed gear to get past some of this shit. So we made it to... No, we've been here before. That's why we're still in the speed up mode. I think those are some cool enemies. And I lose. There, I'm obviously frustrated, and I'm still trying to figure out how beat works. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run away. And get trapped by the wall of flames again.
Mega Man!
Okay,
Fortunately, I don't have
Mega.
many bolts, so I can't really buy much.
Are you sure? Ta-da!
Bad
Alright.
choice past me.
Are you sure?
Beat was a better choice. Oh yeah, and it's around this point in the game that I'm starting to realize just how repetitive the like structure of the stages is. I'm like intentionally like trying to pay attention to it. I've got a lot of stuff going through my mind here, and unfortunately I don't say any of it aloud. Some of my unfiltered thoughts might not be that great anyway. This turkey has been giving me a lot of problems, though. Those have been like the most annoying mini-boss so far. And of course, you see the owl on the top of the screen. It comes and brings the turkey back to flame. It's really incredible how much damage this turkey deals to me. This is another one of the stages that only has one mini-boss, though, I believe. I don't think the turkey comes back. It shares that property in common with Fuse Man. Oof, this screen. I don't know why it took me so long to try and slide there, but... you saw what happened. Slide. Yeah, my reflexes are off at that time. Anyway, have a repeat of what just happened. Yeah, I feel you, pest Sylvie. Aha! The cache. I even made it out of there. Of course, I had to try and stop and fight that guy. I don't know why I did that. I could have probably jumped over him. Yep. I'm having a lot of trouble. Also, I hate that the first thing you shoot in this level is a TP. Wherever you respawn in the stage, you have to shoot a TP. I know I brought it up before, but really, Capcom has just gotta, like, comes to Mega Man, they've just gotta not appropriate Indigenous imagery and, like, colonialist atrocities, I suppose, just for extra set dressing. Like, that's some fucked up bullshit, Capcom. And you need to do better. I think a lot of that was going through my mind at the time, but I had no idea how to say it, and I was just kind of like, and a lot of other stuff on my mind too, so that's funny. Past self would let my future self do the voiceover. Like, and this mini-boss shouldn't be that hard. I should be able to aim pretty well. It's just, like, he keeps jumping, and I keep jumping out of sync with him. Oh, had to check a text message. Yeah, look up at the sky and just be exasperated. That scans.
The reactor's running unusually well today.
Okay,
Now I'm like, let's just stock up on beat and lives, I think.
Are you sure? Ta-da! Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready!
Oh, we're already here. Making sure to grab those both. They really are very valuable. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Not exactly having a good run here. least the bolts respawn there. And there's pretty... I'm pausing right before my doom. Yeah.
Some parts? Sure this is what you want, buddy? And there you have it!
There you go. I equip a thing that'll help me heal more. I decided not to equip the speed gear booster. I do like the options they give you in this game. Like, the parts in the shop. And gotta grab those bolts. It is by the grace of money that I am able to make it through this stage, honestly. By the way, I didn't know this, but you can stand on those burner enemies. I never figured that out, I think, throughout the entire playthrough of this game. Trying to figure out, like, how do I kill these guys without realizing you're not supposed to fully kill them. Like I said, it takes me never to realize it, because I never do. Yeah, I never learned, I only learned it once I looked up the enemy's name, that you can step on those stovetops. Made it. You know, the fact that they give you a gear refill here should be a clue that they're kind of hoping that you might use the speed gear to get through here. Now, I know it's possible to do it without the speed gear. I'm pretty sure the whole game is possible to do without the gears. But it makes sense that that the game design would still encourage you to use those options. I'm getting a lot of money, though. Yeah, finally dawned on me. There we go. Oh, hey, I even blocked my head once and still made it. That is the first time I've reached this screen. Yeah, so this puzzle makes a lot more sense in retrospect. Oh, actually, I wind up standing on it without realizing it. And then I waste 2 beats. That's how things go sometimes. Oh yeah, this screen, they finally did something deadly with the blackout mechanic. Oh, I'm rich now.
What'll it be? Are you sure?
absolutely refilling on the beat.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready. Are you sure? Ta-da! All ready. Good
Yo,
luck.
man.
Sure, I'll buy the
Are you
MK.
sure? Ta-da! All ready. Are you sure? Are you sure? Ta-da! All Are you sure? Ta-da! Are you sure?
And get ourselves 6
Are you
lives.
sure? Ta-da! All ready. Good luck out there, Mega.
You know, you don't. I actually cut out a lot of the compulsive saves I do whenever I game over in editing, but I included one just to comment on it. Anyway, hopefully that's the last time we have to see the beginning of the stage with its, nope, not quite. Oh yeah, I'm getting a lot of bolts during that first screen. I realize I can just grab 2 of the bolts and still come out ahead. There's nothing dangerous on this screen without the lights on. Like, there's no pits, there's no spikes. It's just, you know, some mild platforming. And I do like that your bullets, like, slightly light up the environment so you can kind of see things. This is the last time we'll see Sparky. Good riddance. Yeah, that was me accidentally pushing buttons. Luckily, I've got lives. I got lives to spare this time. And I'm expecting to make a bolt profit again, too. Especially those two. I think those are basically 100 each, so I'm basically getting 200 every time I go through that room. As long as I keep going through that room, I'm going to keep getting 200. Kind of like the capitalist hell game. Kind of like the landlord's game. I was about to call it the capitalist hellhole game, which is what it's essentially supposed to depict. Before I realized, oh right, it unironically has another name by which, you know, it's supposed to go by. Of course, I'm talking about Monopoly. Actually, I don't know if the Landlord's game had the $200 rule. I'm not well versed enough in the history of the game to know that for sure. Ah, and I passed up a bolt. Yeah, keep fumbling. Good thing I have the speed gear on, honestly. But... $200 more. I never actually thought about how you would get past that screen if you didn't have Rush Jet already. If I had tried this stage before, like, before clearing 4 bosses, I probably would have figured out that burner steppy dealy a lot quicker. Ah! I have no idea how to use beat. Even the shots are not the best at illuminating the ground, though, or where the platforms are. It's a good idea clearing out the enemies before I start going. Good choice, good choice. That was pretty close. I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? Where do I go? Which way's the best? And now we're at the counselor's cabin.
Perhaps you will be a challenge. Torch Jutsu, the flaming fist.
So he's got this like disciplined martial artist like vibe about him. He even calls something he does torch jutsu. I almost get him on my first try. But I think he has a lot of things that block your projectiles too. We watch him in the second match.
You made it. Now prove yourself. Torch Jutsu, the flaming fist.
Yep, those flaming fists do block your charge attack. He like even does like a flame kick. Oh, is he Blaziken? This is a real nail biter. Real nail biter. I think the first time I fought him, I wasn't getting as many of those fists blocking him. Like, they really serve a defensive purpose. Finally, I did some damage in with the power gear, but Jesus. I'm really sweating now.
You made it. Now prove yourself. Torch Jutsu, the flaming fist.
And now I'm getting like close up to him, managing to shoot around his. And I missed with all of those power gear shots. Yeah, it's time to start using E-tanks. Just drink them up. He really is a challenging boss to deal Buster only. Oh, by the way, I suppose you've noticed that I've been beating the bosses with the Buster only. That's just a thing I like to do for myself in Mega Man games now. Like, my first run through Buster only. If I were to ever get into speedrunning, I would obviously do the right thing and use their weaknesses, as depending which ones would be more speedier. He jumped right over my charge shot like an acrobatic. And I decided not to drink that last E-tank and go for the kill. I'm feeling pretty good about myself now, but also pretty exhausted with this game. Having defeated 5 bosses, realizing I'm essentially halfway through the game, I'm like, I want to savor this. So, I start to consider putting it away. But, let's see the weapon first. The Blazing Torch. It's like an arcing fireball. I really like it a lot. Like, instead of just, like, giving you, like, just a regular flame weapon, like, here's a special... Here's one with some interesting, like, movement properties.
The reactor's running unusually well.
And I came away from that encounter very rich. So I think I basically buy up the rest of the store, whatever I don't have yet. Or no, I decide to go ahead and save first. Oh, that's the end.